Okay, so here we go, our second example. So when test day comes, these problems are going to be all mixed up. So you're just going to have a triangle sitting in front of you, or a word problem involving a triangle. And you're going to have to figure out how to get started. So here, the directions say solve. So that means you have to find angle H, angle S, and side C, right? Those are the missing pieces. So you're going to, you got to jump in and do something. It is not a right triangle, so you know you'll be using either the law of sines or the law of cosines. So what's the first thing your beady eyes look for? Do I have a set, right? No. Do I have a match? Yes. Do we have a match?
No.
No. The only angle I have, I don't know the side for, right? So I am not going to be able to start with the law of sines. I may be able to use it later, but right now I'm going to have to start with the law of cosines. All right? So now remember the rule. It's a bit long equation. On one end, you're going to have cosine of some angle. What angle do you know?
E.
47. So I'm going to put cosine 47 at the end. And so if I put angle C at the end, what's going to have to go here? C squared. The side that goes with the angle is all by itself right here. And then all the stuff in the middle is a combination of the other two sides. So it's going to be a combination of 15 and 13. So what does the pattern say?
13 squared.
13 squared
minus 2
plus 15 squared minus 2 times 13, 15. That's it. That's it. Now, what am I solving for? Which is already over here by itself, right? So if you want to do this in steps, you can, but you can also just type that straight in. Since you are solving for C and it's already over here by itself, you can just type in exactly what you wrote. Or you can do it in pieces, whatever's easiest for you. So 13, I'm going to type 13 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 13 times 15 times cosine 47 equals. Did you get 128?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, here is a mistake place, a potential mistake place. 128 is not C. 128 is C squared. So now we have to square root it. So, hit your square root sign, so second square root, and then second answer. That way you don't have to retype anything in. So just second square root, second answer, and you should have gotten 11.31. So once you get all this typed in and you got your 128, do second square root, second answer. And you're done. If it's hard for you to type all that in or you're confused by that, you can do it in steps like we did over there. This one we had to do in steps because we were solving for something that was buried in the middle of all that. You are not done. You still have to find angle H and angle S. So what do you want to do now? Now we can do the law of sines. So sine 47 over 11.31 equals, me what's on the iPad, sweetie. I can't believe anything is more interesting than the law of cosines. Sine 47 over 11.31 equals what? Sine h over 13. Could you also have said sine s over 15? Yeah, it doesn't matter. So 13 sine 47 equals 11.31 sine h. Just cross multiply. Remember, this is not separatable. So you're just going to have to divide by 11.31. So 13 sine 47 divided by 11.31.
Do we have the second sign on that?
Okay.
No.
Thank you. I forgot to. So this is, I didn't write it down, so Logan, I got ahead of myself. This is sine h, right? So we need to second sign that. Not just type it in. We need to second sign it. So when I do that, I get 57.21. Double check that though, since I kind of messed it up. 57.21.
No.
Type in second sign that fraction.
57.21.
Just second sign. 13 sine 47, close the parentheses, 11.31. Just like on our practice quiz we did that. Alan? Did I do it right? 57.21,
Yeah,
is that what you got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Body beams.
So, for the C on that one, will we put 11.31 or will we put 47 degrees?
You put what you're solving for, which is 11.31. Now, what about S? Yeah, I got two angles now. You could do any of this stuff if you wanted to.
Let's do the hardest one.
No, we're just going to subtract from 180.
Okay, well,
And I got 75.79.
yeah.
So the triangle is now solved because we found everything that was missing in the original. Okay? All right, let's try the next one. Now, this time I want everybody typing. Some of you just sit back and let everyone else do the work. Everybody needs to type it to make sure you know what you're doing. So here's our triangle. Okay, so what are you thinking about as you're sitting here deciding I gotta solve this stuff? What are you thinking about, Sam?
Do a squared and then cosine 53.
Okay, so Sam is thinking, all right, I gotta find H and C and S, and I do not have a pair. That's match set, so I'm gonna have to use the law of cosines. The law of cosines uses one angle. Since 53 is the angle I know, the only angle I know, I'm going to have cosine 53 out here at the end. That means that over here, all by itself, is the side that goes with 53, which is H, so then it's squared. Yep, in the formula, it's squared. If we were deriving the law of cosines, like if I were showing you where it came from, it comes from the Pythagorean theorem. That's why it's got all the squares in it. All right, so we got H squared. Now, what goes in here? 18 squared plus, help me, plus 16 squared minus 2 times 18 times 16, and these can be in any order. So the 18 and the 16, it doesn't matter what order you have those in. The minus 2 is part of the formula, so it's going to be in every single problem. Now, if you want, you can type that straight in, just like it is. If you want to break it up and write down the individual pieces, that's okay too. Doesn't matter. Now, when you get it all typed in, however you do it, tell me what you got. Well, yeah, you started out with 233. Everybody get 233 point something? Now, that is not the answer. Sometimes we write that down, and that's not the answer because that is h squared. So I want to square root that number. So I'm either going to square root and type it all back in, or I'm going to do square root, second answer, and I got 15.28. I don't care how you do it, I want you to get 15.28. Okay, Lonnie, you all right?
Yes.
With your head down, it just looks like you're bored, and I know that
No,
can't
I
possibly
hit my ankle on the.
All right, now, Jackson, what do you think at this point? Exactly. Jackson says, look here. So sine 53 over 15.28 equals, what do you want to set that equal to, Jackson? Sine S over 18, perfect. Okay, so 18 sine 53 equals 15.28 sine S.
Second sign.
I'm going to have the second sign, but this time I'm going to write it down, Sam, so I don't forget. So I'm going to second sign. Allie, please type this in if you had trouble with it. Second sign, 18 sine 53, close parentheses, divided by 15.28. I got 70.19.
Ah, snap.
And then how do I find the last one?
Add them up.
Add them up and subtract from 180.
70.19 is that what you got?
That's what I got. And then for the last, for C, I got 56.81 for C.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir?
When I took mine in for like the first part, I got 15.27. But I think I rounded different, but they messed up like all my numbers by 1 point.
Okay.
Would I
There
get that
should,
completely
to
wrong?
get the first one, there should be no rounding.
Okay.
So I think what happened was when you typed that in, you had you made this into a number. Don't do that.
Okay.
Or type out all the digits, write out all the digits, okay? Because there wouldn't be any reason for that one to be a little off. This one, S could be a little off if we did the problem with another law of cosines instead of a sine, but.
Yeah, so cause I get C first, and I got 56.75 from 58.81, and then I have 70.25.
56.75.
Yes. Cause I did C first rather than.
Boy, that's a big difference. Let me see. So sine 53 over 15.28 equals sine C over 16. Make sure I didn't subtract wrong. Okay.
My grandmama is very more funny than you. Oh, I know.
See the baseball
Yep, that's right. You put 15 yeah. So I'll just have to, I mean, that's just, this roundoff error right here causes that. That's a big difference, but it happens.
So that's okay.
Well, yeah, I gotta show you work. If you don't match me, I'll be checking that work. Okay, now, I know this is gonna break your hearts, but we have to pause a couple minutes early today. I know, darn it. Because